and I am a fiction specialist at the Hoover Library. And today I'm bringing to Rescue Tales Ms. Rita Bowman, who is the director at Kitty Cat Haven. Now, I know Kitty Cat Haven because I used to go and visit before I got married. My husband is allergic to cats, so we ended up with dogs. But before him, I had nothing but cats. I
Oh,
love cats.
okay.
So, Rita, can you tell us a little bit about how the origin story of Kitty Cat Haven, if you can?
Sure. Well, I've always been interested in cats and always tried to help out with different various rescues. I'm from South Carolina originally,
Mhm.
and out there we didn't have a whole lot of cat rescues. A lot of it was TNR, and I helped with TNR. Actually, had a huge colony of my own that I took care of. And when I moved out here. It's been 16 years. I didn't really have a whole lot of time on my hand because I traveled with the company that I work with. I'd been with them almost 30 years, and
Mhm.
it's only when I realized that I was sick. I actually have non-Hodgkin lymphoma,
Mm.
that I needed to retire early. So I retired early. And by retiring early, I decided then, what am I going to do? So I started volunteering with a few of the different rescues out here to help, whether it be babies, the neonatal, feeding the babies that lost their mommies, that kind of thing. And then it was like, okay, I'd like to start something of my own. And we have a wonderful guy that I'm very good friends with. My husband and I are good friends with him and his wife. He also has the same dream as me, and that was in 2016,
Mhm.
and we opened up Kitty Cat Haven and Rescue. And since then, we have adopted out over 3,500 cats and kittens.
Wow.
That's a lot, I know. I know. So we've had a really good reputation. We've built up over the past almost 5 years now. It's been October of 2016 is when we actually opened the doors, and that was over on Alford Avenue.
Mhm.
So now we've moved in a much bigger place, and we've actually purchased this house, which is nice because we feel like it's ours. We own it basically. Of course, the bank owns it. We just pay we pay
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mortgage, but it's nice because we can always expand if needed because we've got an acre of land. So that's what's wonderful about it. But that's how we pretty much started it. I mean, we just decided we wanted to try to save as many cats as we could, and the community was definitely ready for it because there was nothing like this. And so it was really a nice thing to do, to help out the community too.
Now, what am I thinking of that has been around? Is there a other cat rescue that's been around for longer than
There's
2016?
there has been, but there's a lot of them that have closed. Um,
That's what I'm probably thinking
Yeah,
of that
there
I
was
visited.
one, I think Steel City's been around a while and it
Mhm.
closed a couple of years ago. Um, there's just there's I'll be honest with you, people go into this thinking they're gonna make money. You don't, okay? You go
Oh
in the
no,
hole.
no, no, no.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
nobody gets a salary. That's another thing about us. Even myself or Charlie, we are vice president, president, founders. We don't get a salary. No one does. We do everything by volunteer because
Yeah,
the way we want to do it here, we want to make sure the people that come here don't come here for a salary. They come here because they love cats, and that's
right.
how we work it. So,
Now, how are you connected with my neighbor over in Avondale, Gatos and Beans? How are you connected with
oh,
them?
okay. Well, I've known Kelly and her husband since we started in 2016. Actually, in 2015, I knew her from that, helping out other rescues. And Kelly worked at Alford Avenue. Okay, she was the receptionist there at Alford
Mhm.
Avenue. And when she approached us about wanting to do a cat cafe, we were super excited because, first of all, it's like we're just kind of one of a kind here. For what we have is a one of a kind in Alabama. Gosh knows, I wish we had a lot more of what we have here,
Right.
because we are no kill, no cage, all volunteer facility for cats. And with Gatos and Beans, it's the first cat cafe. So we were kind of like,
Mhm.
wow, this is great. We're breaking ground here in Alabama, finally. So anyway, that's how I know Kelly. And we furnish her with all the cats that she has there, and she adopts them out for us there. It's a wonderful
Mhm.
relationship. She'll call and she say, okay, I've got 2 more that just that are going out the door. I need some more. So, and we always supply her with cats.
So they live on the facility at the facility at Gatos
Yeah,
and Beans,
they
and
do. They
you
do. Mhm.
feed them. That's fantastic. Um, so what is a surprising story or a touching story that you might could share about a human cat connection?
I'll tell you something. Uh, we rescue a lot of different cats with a lot of different. Some of them have a lot of ailments. Some of them have to have a leg removed, or some of them are
Mhm.
blind. Actually, we have a couple of those right now that are blind. But one of I think the most touching one that we have right now is she came from a hoarder, okay, a hoarding case. So a lot of cats and kittens there. This particular one had some issues. When she would walk, she
Mhm.
is she would walk just at a crazy angle. She couldn't control her back legs, and it's called CH. Now, gosh, don't ask me to pronounce it, because Lord knows I won't be able to. But if you look
Yes,
it up, okay, Google CH in cats. They sometimes call it drunken cat syndrome.
I think
But
I've heard of that. Yeah.
okay, it's a neurological. It's actually a neurological problem that they're born with. It does not get better. They will always have that kind of issue. Now, when we found us we've got great fosters, by the way. This foster, her and her husband said, we will foster her until we can get her able to be adopted. Well, they fell in love with her, and she now has her own little YouTube. So I love it. So you can go. Her name is Phoebe, the CH Kitty, and she's really becoming famous on YouTube right now, which is wonderful, because not only is it wonderful, but it's educating people that
Raising
these
awareness.
cats are wonderful cats. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with them. That it's just because they walk a little funny, they're still wonderful cats. So I think that's one of the best ones we have right now. We've had many in the past. We've lost a lot of kitties too that didn't have that long to live, but we gave them the love they needed.
Yeah.
But this one she's going strong. So little Phoebe, the CH kitty, is amazing.
Well, can you talk about the feral cat situation in Birmingham in particular? I'm friends with Kathy Freeland, and I'm Facebook friends with her, and she's always posting how she's trapping feral cats and helping them in the
Yes.
community. What is that situation?
It's it's scary, is what it is. I'll be honest with you. Every year I say, this is the worst I've ever seen it. And every year I say it again, this is the worst I've ever seen it. It is terrible that we have so many cats that are dumped, and it's not their fault.
Mm-mm.
It's society's fault. It's our fault that these cats do not have a home, and it breaks my heart, because we try as many. I love Kathy, by the way.
Oh,
She's my hero.
I know. She's
We need
mine
more
too.
Kathys.
I know.
But it's amazing to me how people just think that if you throw a cat out, they can survive. It's not true. They can't survive like that.
Yeah.
Cats, they're not wild cats. First of all, we had a I had a little argument one time with a gentleman that was talking about, oh, that feral cats all need to be put down because they're wild and they can attack you and yada yada. I said, I have never had a feral cat attack me. I said, I don't know what your problem is, but they don't attack you unless you're attacking them. And I said, if you just walk by a feral cat, they're going to run away.
Yeah.
They're scared of you.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of misunderstanding out there about feral cats. And I don't even like to call them feral. I call them community cats,
Oh, okay.
because
That's good to
honestly,
know.
that's what they are. They're a product of us, and they're part of our community. I have community cats I take care of in my own neighborhood, and I have people say, "Well, how many cats do you have?" I said, "Well, I don't have that many, this community has that many. Okay?
Yeah.
But I feed them and I take care of them and I trap them. I get them neutered and spayed. If I can't catch them in time, I take care of the kittens. I get them adopted. It's like, and it's a never ending task. We need more people like Kathy, and we need legislation. Oh gosh, I
Yeah.
wish we were the type of, I wish we were the state like where you have to register your animals. If you register them, if you have an animal, they have to be registered. They have to be spayed or neutered. Or if
Right.
they're not spayed and neutered, there's like a $500 fine. I think if more people realize, oh, wow, if I don't get this baby spayed and neutered, and you get them so cheap now, there's no excuse. I
Some
mean, it's no excuse at all not to get them fixed.
Yeah, sometimes all I mean, it's sad, but if you have to go through the situation of having to nurse a mama cat or dog and
Hmm.
have to deal with finding homes with a litter, you
Hmm.
will understand the importance because they do reproduce relatively fast, and
Hmm.
especially among community cats. And it's a great responsibility. I have a couple of friends that are fosters for kitties, and I'm assuming it's with Kitty Cat Haven, and their children get so much out of the fostering
Yes,
experience, but it
they
is a
do.
hard job. I
Yeah,
mean, it's a commitment,
it
and
is a commitment.
yeah. But so what would you say? I mean, can you speak to the spay and neutering situation? I do know there is a spay and neuter nonprofit
Hmm.
is out in where is it located? Um, anyway, but can you speak to the whole responsibility of spay and neutering?
Well, first of all, there is a spay and neuter clinic. Um, there's also low cost spay and neuter certificates that people can purchase. Um, we purchase them for our cats that we rescue here. They're only $35 for a
Okay.
neuter, and they're $45 for a spay. I mean, unreal that price. That's the best thing you could ever do is just get that,
Yeah.
take it, and get the baby spayed neuters. There are also low cost clinics out there, that offer even a better deal than that. That if you don't have the money, they'll do it. They'll do it for you. I don't like naming their names because then they say, well, you
I
told
am.
me they could do it free.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
but there's
It,
people out there that will help.
it,
There's no excuse not to get your animal spayed and neutered.
And I spoke with Jana Maynard at Sugar Bell Foundation about that
Yes.
they help with that kind of thing. But
Hmm.
don't just give up and
Mm-mm.
let the cat, you know, stay in the community without help.
Right.
Just make some phone calls. Uh, you
Well, I
know,
have a philosophy. If you feed, you fix. That's my philosophy. I have people say, "Oh, well, I've been feeding these cats; they keep reproducing." Well, hello, that's what's going to happen.
yeah,
You feed them, you fix them. Okay.
that's a great philosophy. I like that a lot. Let's
I
switch
should get
over.
a T-shirt that says that.
Yeah, you do. Let's switch over to the organization itself.
Mhm.
Okay, can you tell me about your funding, any fundraisers that you do? How can the community help you do more for
Well,
cats?
we do a lot of fundraising. I'm beating the bushes constantly. Even though we're in a good state right now as far as that, we get donations with food, litter.
Mhm.
It's still not enough. Okay,
Right.
and our vet bill is woohoo unreal, because it does cost money to get these babies well, and because a lot of them come to us really sick,
Yeah.
and we have to get them well. We don't euthanize them just because they're sick. We try our best to save as many as we can. So we do fundraising, and we do a one coming up actually in May. May the 15th is our 5K. Uh, we call it the Meowathon. Okay,
Oh,
and the 5K run is a Meowathon, and we also have a whisker walk involved with that too. So if you don't want to run, you can walk it. But it's a lot of fun. You go online, and there's actually, if you go on our website, you'll see where you can actually participate in it. Uh, you'll get a T-shirt, that has the little cats running across it. Then the back, of course, is our sponsors. That's
Yeah.
where we make our money.
Yeah.
Okay. We
Yes.
make our money off of our sponsorships. So we sell sponsorship. The ones that donate the most, they go at the top. Okay. And anybody that actually wants to donate to it, it's $250 or more. Maybe it's not $250 cash, maybe it's $250 in goods that they
Right.
want to give towards this. So it's great. We got Coca-Cola that actually every year they donate water for us, so they get on there because they've donated
Oh
all this
yeah.
Dasani water. We've got Publix, one of the Publix, they donate fruit. So the fruit is there for the runners. So there's a
Right.
lot of different ways that you can help with this, but it's a lot of fun. And it is our money maker. That's one of our big money makers. And then we always apply for grants too.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. And also, are you like other nonprofits that you have a Amazon wish list possibly
We
or anything
do.
like that?
We have an Amazon wish list and we have a Chewy wish. Can say
Oh
that fast.
yeah.
Wish
Yeah.
list.
That's
So even on
fantastic.
Chewy, you can actually go on Chewy, type our name in, Kitty Cat Haven. Make sure you say Kitty Cat Haven and Rescue. And the reason why I say that, I see on the back there, you've got Kitty Cat Haven. There's a Kitty Cat Haven, but it's located in Washington State. And a couple of times it's happened where people have gone on there and just put Kitty Cat Haven and the
The money
donations go to
goes.
them. It's like, hello, can you send me that money back? But
Yeah.
we are the Kitty Cat Haven and Rescue. So
Okay.
anyway, you
Okay.
go
Good
on
to know.
Chewy or go on Chewy or go on Amazon, you'll see us listed on there.
Awesome. And at the end, there'll be a slide with your website and Facebook page. So
Okay.
we'll get them directed to you somehow. Well, how has the pandemic changed things for you as far as volunteers or the cat events or?
Well, last year with the pandemic when it first started, we couldn't open our doors. And the sad part about it, that was our grand opening time. That's when we first got here to our new location, and we were so excited. We were going to do the ribbon cutting. We were going to have
Absolutely.
the big party here, and it's like, can't do that. So we never got a chance to do all that. But I will tell you, interesting enough, we did a lot online.
Yeah.
People, they most of them were home, so they did a lot of surfing on the net. They would find a cat they really liked, and that we would set up a time for them to come out. Mask, of course, we kept everybody at bay, but they got a chance to adopt that way. So honestly, we adopted even during the pandemic. Not as many as we probably would have adopted, but we still adopted.
But there was still a surge in pet adoptions overall
Yes.
because of the pandemic. A lot of
Exactly.
families decided to,
They
or
were needing that. So many people are still working from home, and they love the fact they got a cat sitting beside them. It's like, or a dog,
absolutely.
whatever. It does work out great in a way, but it did hurt a little bit because
Of course.
again, the donations were not as good as they should have been or could have been. Let's put it that way. People were
Yeah.
more concerned about what was going on in their lives, and I understand that. I mean, hey, listen, in January of this year, I got COVID. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
goodness.
And I'm so careful. I was just, how did it happen? And I was asking the doctor, I don't understand. I wear my mask. I mean, my hands have no skin on them from all the stuff I've done. And he says it can happen to anybody. So I did get COVID, and thank God it was not a bad case of it. But I was out for about 3 weeks and doing everything, bothering them like crazy on the on the telephone. What's going on? What's happening? But
Yeah.
anyway, we were still able to do our Petco events. We had to be very careful with Petco. We had the 6-foot rule for people. When they got too crowded, it's like, okay, you got to stand over here now. So it was a lot of directing traffic when we did it at Petco. But we did some adoptions. We did pretty good. Actually, last
Right.
year we adopted 833 cats and kittens. How's
Not
that?
bad. Not
Not
bad.
bad for being in a pandemic.
Yes. Well, what's your long range goal? Do you have any other long range goals that you haven't met yet?
I think if I had my wish, we would have another operation just like this one, and at least two more like this in the state of Alabama. I think if we could have more cat rescues where they're run correctly, and I say run correctly, where they're nonprofit, of course, and they also have um, a following. You have to develop a following. You have to show the community that what you're doing
Right.
is right. It's not just having a bunch of cats in a house. You've got to do it correctly. And I would love to be able to show people how to open up a couple more of these. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do them. I've got
Right.
enough here, but I would love to be able to. In the state of Alabama, we need more non-kill um, and nonprofit, all volunteer type locations. But that would be my goal. Now, as far as actually this one, I see us in 5 years at least, because we expanded so fast in the since 2016, because we're on an acre of land. I see us expanding out and doubling our size of the location here. By doubling our size of the location, we would definitely be able to double a number of rescues that we have here.
That's fantastic. So, on an average year, when there's no pandemic, about how many cats do you adopt out?
I would say close to 1,000. That's an average. And that's why we were surprised 833 last year. When I
Yeah,
got that
yeah.
number, I said, "Are you sure? Wow, that's pretty darn good."
Yeah. Well, I'll ask another question that's how do you deal with cats that have such different personalities? Because as I know, cats can be very, very persnickety. Um,
They are. They
do
can
you
be.
do you
Well,
have your facility where you isolate cats, or
we
you
do.
have antisocial cats over here?
We have well, because we don't do the euthanization. If a cat comes in here and it doesn't, we deem it not being able to adopt, they kind of work themselves into the community here. And we say it's a gang. We got that gang over in the corner over there of the catio. They like to kind of stay to themselves. They don't really want people to mess with them, but they have a life here and they'll live here. We do have it. Very seldom do we have fights. I mean, that's amazing. I have more fights at my house with my cats than they do here. Okay,
That's
and,
amazing.
and
Yeah.
it's crazy. We do that happens. We do isolate the culprit. And usually, but to be honest with you, it's usually a female that starts it. And then she may go into what we call timeout, which is the quiet room. It's a nice room. It's got a big window. And then she just kind of chills out. We will put a calming collar on her. The feel away works wonders on a lot of the cats. So we
What's
do that.
that?
Feel away is it's actually it's the pheromone of the mother cat. And they have it in
Oh,
spray and they have it in the collar. So we'll put a collar on her, and in that room, in the quiet room, it's got the feel away diffusers. So the scent is a calming scent. Kind of like with humans, lavender is a calming scent for us. Well, this is a calming scent for cats, and it's a mother's pheromone that's in it. So anyway,
interesting.
we'll do that, and usually that works. And of course, the good old that always works too. they know when Mama Rita says if they don't
Yeah.
behave, they're going to go into another room. So
Yeah.
it works out pretty good. I mean, very seldom. I mean, we've had a few. Don't get me wrong. We've learned our lesson. Don't bring in male cats that have just been neutered, because they still smell like male cats, and the other cats see that as a problem, and they
Hmm.
will try to fight with them. So we don't do that any longer. We wait till their scent is gone before they come in.
That's fantastic. I can't think of any other questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add for people viewing this in the community?
Well, I would love, this is it. before people make, I guess, their assumptions on what we do here. I had somebody one time blast, we lost a cat. Okay, yes, we're human. It happens. We had a cat that actually dug his way out of our screen porch. Now, since then, we have reinforced everything. But
Mhm.
he's lost, and I posted out there, he's lost. Please help me find him. He's microchipped, sweetheart. I got a feeling somebody took him into their home because he's so sweet. But I got blasted on that when I posted that, saying, that we don't take care of our cats and we
Right.
lose them all the time. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't. You've never been here. You have no clue what we do here. So please, and I invited her. I said, I'm not gonna get in an argument with her. Come out here. Let me show you what we do. Let me show you how we spent the extra money to get it reinforced here, because we're all about the cats. This is, we want to adopt cats, yes, we want to save cats, but we want to make sure these cats are healthy and they're taken
Mhm.
good care of. So, yeah, I think if people would just come out, take a look at what we do here, it'd be great, because I can explain it to them. The other thing is we are needing volunteers all the time. Volunteers that either want to come out and help. I call it scooping the poop. Okay, we have scooping the poop. We sterilize every morning. This entire house is sterilized. I mean, we have to mop and clean. It's just as clean as you would find in a vet's back office area where they take care of cats. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So we make sure that cats are not subjected to any kind of disease that way. But we need volunteers to help with that. We're always needing fosters because this is kitten season. Oh my gosh, and it's hitting fast and furious.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen this many, and I say it every year, this many pregnant cats out there right now that are about to pop. I
Yeah.
almost ran over in my neighborhood, and I didn't even know that cat was even in the neighborhood. Beautiful calico running across the street, and what was behind her? 3 little kittens. And I
Oh,
said,
goodness.
oh my gosh, thank God I do the speed limit in my neighborhood, but not everybody does. So I put it out there. Y'all start doing the speed limit because there's kittens out there in the road. But it's just everywhere. It's everywhere. And God bless us. We got to get some help with either legislation. If anybody knows who I can go and beg to help us get some kind of ruling going, and
Mhm.
even if it's just in the Birmingham area, but Alabama needs to be able to say, yeah, we're going to be a no-kill state. And the way we're going to be a no-kill state is we're going to take care of the ferals out there. The community
Mhm.
cats will be TNR, because eventually when you do the TNR process, they're
What
not
is
going to
T-
be reproducing.
what is TNR? I meant to ask you.
Okay, it's trap, neuter, release. So TNR is where we do when you do the TNR. What'll happen if you've got like a colony of cats and you go in there and you trap them, you get them all neutered up or spayed, but get them all fixed. Let's put it that way. Give them their shots, and you put them back out. They're not going to reproduce any longer, and they'll eventually get smaller and smaller and smaller in that. So it's not like they're going to keep getting larger and larger and larger where you have
Right.
50 cats there. But yeah, that's what's so important. And we've got so many people out there that don't understand that there is God made us all for a reason, okay? And if those cats are out there, they deserve to live, okay? And you got to understand they're out there again, not on their own, just because they want to be out there. People dump them, and they're born out there. So we've got to take care of them. We've got to make sure they're fed. We got to make sure they're taken care of with the vetting.
Mhm.
And continue to feed them. So the TNR, we've got a lot of people that have the community in feral colonies. They take care of every single day. They go out there, whether it's raining or not. They feed them. They make sure they have fresh water. All of that's important. So yeah, I just have, my heart goes out to people that do the TNR. It really does, because I've done it, and it's
Yeah.
not easy.
No, no. And changing the minds of people is never easy either.
No,
But
it's not.
if you've had the love of a pet, you know that automatically, that you want to help other cats and dogs.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so thankful you joined us,
Oh,
and
well,
that we
thank
can
you for
get,
inviting me.
yeah,